Nick Rada started his career as a humble family man that grew into wild success with an audience of 100,000 plus, making buku bucks. He was beloved by many people, supported by an extraordinary amount of people. Came out with a format that was unique and interesting and got a lot of people their YouTube channels. A lot of LawTubers blew up because of him. Was on the cusp of success and greatness with Netflix and with television and with the news. He was one of the people that really could have parlayed it into something incredible. But that success allowed his vices to take control of him. And these legal proceedings, whether they're true or not, have given you a glimpse behind the curtain, so to speak. Because you could take away all of this. You could take away the warrant. You could say it was bullshit and fraudulent and it should never have been. He could find a great argument to get out of any legal repercussions. They could say that the mandatory reporter was misinformed. They could find something. But the fact of the matter is, you still now know that a mistress was living there. You still now know that they had ketamine and cocaine in their possession, that their fucking house was a disheveled mess, that there are guns all over the fucking place, that there's spent shell casings all over the fucking place. As you see him descend deeper and deeper into drinking, you've watched a man throw away his success because this isn't even a midlife crisis. This isn't somebody wanting to sow their wild oats because they missed out on the opportunity. You had it all lined up for you, man. It was all there waiting for you to take it to the next level. You could have done amazing things. And instead you wanted to get high and get drunk and fuck sluts. And it's costing you everything. Your hubris and your ego about this are costing you. I'm not here to talk about the constitutionality of free speech and what you should be able to call Montegraph or not. But I would ask the question, was it worth it? Was it worth putting that financial burden and hardship over your own head and your family's? I'm not here to talk about whether or not an open relationship in a marriage is a good or a bad thing. But was it worth it? Seeing the destruction of Aaron and April's marriage and the effect that it's going to have on your marriage. I'm not here to talk about whether or not somebody should be a daily drinker or if they can be a functional alcoholic. But I'm going to ask you, was it worth it? Getting shit-faced drunk every night and watching your numbers diminish and your fan base shrink and your support go away? And I'm not going to sit here and talk about whether or not it's right or wrong to do illicit substances, whether that's shit that just got legalized in Minnesota like marijuana or completely illegal things like ketamine and cocaine. But again, I'll ask you, was it worth it? Having the police knock down your door and scare the shit out of your kids. Having your wife have to go through a booking proceeding. Having to be embarrassed in front of the internet. Was any of this shit worth it? You stood at the precipice of success and you threw it away. For what? Momentary pleasure. You get a little high, you get a little drunk, you get your cock sucked, and your life falls apart. You threw away the idyllic American dream for what? 5 minutes of pleasure? To all those people out there that want to get big in YouTube, this is a good example of really what not to do. You know, right now VTubing is becoming a big thing. A lot of VTubers out there are killing it. And great, good on them. I love it. People like Peppa and Kirsch and all of them. You know, go out and cultivate your fan base, make your product, build your brand, make your money, and plan for your future. Don't get caught up in how famous or popular you are. Put your fucking money away. Buy a house, buy a car. Because by the time your curve is done in 3 or 4 or 5 years, you'll be so far ahead of the game. You'll be set on not having to worry about rent, not having to worry about mortgage, not having to worry about a car or debt or bullshit. You'll be able to live your life how you want to live it. You'll have a chance at that idyllic American dream. Don't do what Nick did. Don't let your ego get the better of you. Don't give in to the momentary dick suckings and cocaine binges and alcohol benders because you're popular for the moment. Don't let those daydream fantasies of revenge against people that told you you'd never make it overtake your rationality. Don't do what this guy did. Otherwise, it's going to be you in the booking photo. And you don't want that. You don't want to be the mugshot. Nobody does. You don't want to be Nick Rada with a black eye and people asking, why is his wife getting charged for physical abuse of the children? Why is a woman living in his house? Why is he so drunk? Why were there drugs found? Why was there guns found? Do you think this is something that's easily repaired, Nick? Or anybody watching this? It's not. The damage that's been done from this week alone will have repercussions throughout the rest of your life. It will be the underpinning of any argument you and your wife have about who's responsible for it and how badly things got fucked up. It will affect your relationship with your homeschooling group and your church and your neighborhood and your neighbors, because you'll be the guy whose mugshot they saw, and they'll hear all these fucking stories, and whether or not they're true or how true they are or how factually accurate they are or how far off the mark they are, they'll still know they found a bunch of coke and ketamine and fucking guns. They'll still know some chick you were banging was living there, and they'll ask themselves, what kind of neighbor is this guy? And how fucking reliable is he? I just don't get it. I don't know what happened, man. You really were one of the people that had the best chance, Nick. You really were. You really had the best chance of turning it into something amazing. And I don't know why you've thrown it away. And I don't understand that I can't comprehend why you've thrown it away for so little. You traded it in for so little. You took something that had the potential to grant you an amazing life and you pissed it away for nothing. And, that's what makes me lean towards there really being a problem with alcohol or drugs. Because no rational person that's sober would do that. But an addict would. They wouldn't be able to weigh the pros and cons, the benefits and the penalties. They'd be living in the now. They'd care about that dopamine hit more than anything else. This isn't even me moral fagging. I'm not trying to get preachy with you. I'm genuinely fucking confused. I know you've got a lot of people you talk to. You've got friends and different associates in real life and online. None of them grabbed you by the arm and said, stop? Or the ones that did you pay them no heed? You never woke up one morning hungover feeling like shit with a black eye like you're in your mugshot and say, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want my life to be this. I can do better than this. You had so much going for you. Your kids would have grown up and said, that's my dad on television. That guy is my dad and he's on TV because he's smart and he's successful and he's motivated and people fucking love the shit that he does. That's where you were. They would have been going to school and bragging. Now what the fuck are they going to say? Oh yeah, that's my dad in the mugshot. Why would you throw it away, man? Why would you piss that away? I just don't get it. I really don't. Few people are offered the opportunity to have that kind of success. And you really were smart in how you did it. I try not to take that away from you, especially when I talked about it before. A lot of people say, oh, people have done legal shit on the internet before. They've done law tube stuff before. They have. But that was your idea. The way you did it, the format, the flow of it, the feel of it. That was you, man. That was your creative energy behind it. That was your chance to brand it and capitalize on it and fucking be a rising star with it. And you chose to throw it away. And I just don't fucking understand it. I just don't get it. I hope I hope there's not abuse shit going on with the kids. I hope that the fucking mandatory reporter brought up concerns that were just related to drug use. I hope there's not crazy shit that's going to come out, man, because I don't know if I can take it. I really don't. Because you don't strike me as a piece of shit, Nick. You don't. You don't strike me as a bad person. You never have. And it would be heartbreaking if that turns out to be false. That would fuck me up. If it was Ethan Ralph or some other piece of shit on the internet, I wouldn't be surprised, but I would with you. Maybe I just bought hook, line, and sinker the bullshit at the beginning. You know, the humble family man. I don't know. But that's who I saw you as being, you know, that's who I thought you really were. And I still hope that you really are. But like I said at the beginning, you can't tell an alcoholic or a drug addict to fix themselves because they won't. They have to decide to do it. And no matter what you think rock bottom is, they have to decide what it is. For some people, rock bottom is a mild inconvenience. It's running out of money when they need it, or it's being in a bit of an uncomfortable situation. For other people, it's being completely homeless and covered in shit until it's rock bottom. I don't know what yours is. One would hope this is. So I don't know. It's depressing. It's just depressing. It's depressing to see potential fall apart like that. And to see something that seems so good, at least on the outside, crumble apart. You're such an idiot, man. You're such a fucking idiot. I wish you the best, Nick. I do. I hope you get through it. I hope you fix yourself. I hope I hope you can fix this. Because it would be sad to see a good family torn apart over shit like this. And it's shit that's going to live with your family, with your kids and your wife. And it's it's not going to go away. But it is something you could repair if you put the effort into it. And I don't know if you'll ever see the same success you saw on YouTube again. But you could still climb back. And you could still have a happy life. You could still have that ideal life that most people seem to strive for. And I just hope that you're not stupid enough to not try. I hope that you're smart enough to understand that you could get it if you really put in the effort. I don't know what started this all. I don't know why you decided to go down the path that you did. But I think, based on my interactions with you, that you're a better man than that. And that you could still fix it. I know it's easy for a lot of people to shit on you and just do it unrepentantly, and that's fine. I'm not here to judge. Everybody's got their own opinion. But I can't reconcile what you are now with what I was introduced to. And I hope that there's still a piece of that in you, and that piece wins out. And that there aren't more mugshots. Rather, Christmas cards from the family than mugshots, Nick, is what you should be aiming for. So, best of luck. I really hope there's not kid shit involved in this. And I don't know what else to say. Sorry, folks. I don't have like a eloquent ender for you. That was a real ender for you. An honest opinion from a hat salesman.